Hello everybody, and welcome back once again to Doki Doki Literature Club. Once it, of course, starts up per the norm. Because when I play horror games, I want to be fully immersed. So, I play in full screen mode. Doki. Doki Doki. Okay. Maestro, do you like oolong tea? Yeah. Anything is fine. Very well. Yuri sets the temperature like kettle to 200 degrees. Now it's time to get the teapot. You really do this properly, don't you? Of course. I shouldn't do anything less when I'm making tea for others. Even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything? Huh? In that case, you'll only be even more impressed. Perhaps I will. He fetches a teapot and begins. So I'm measuring the tea. To my surprise, she even starts humming a little to herself. You must be in a good mood now. Is that so? I was letting it show, and you noticed. I was doing a bit of thinking, and decided that I would try to express myself a little bit more. Turns out it's not very hard for me to do. When it's you who's around anyway. Aw. That's great, Yuri. Just don't push yourself too much. You're always worried about me, Maestro. It's very endearing. Yuri wasn't kidding. I don't even know if I can keep up with this. I'll watch Yuri pour the cup of tea for each of us. Maestro, I have another request. Do you mind if we sit on the floor today? Hey, why's that? It's a little bit easier on my back. I can read with my back up against the wall rather than bending over at my desk. Sorry, I didn't realize. No worries. I just have back pain fairly regularly, so I do my best to manage it. Is that so? I wonder why is that? Why that is. It's mostly because your posture, right? Always hunched over like that while reading? Yes. I have terrible reading posture. So that's why we should sit on the floor. Fair enough. I'll go ahead and get the book. I read the book from my bag. I have some chocolate as well. A bag of small chocolate candies that I keep hidden from Sayori's candy radar. I take it, since it'll go well with the tea. Yuri and I then sit against the wall, teacups at our sides. As if in sync, we assume the same reading position as last time, each holding one half of the book. Except this time, our bodies are even closer to each other. I can't see too well. Yuri slides closer until our shoulders are touching. How am I supposed to focus on reading like this? Yuri was always kind and was cute, but when she's being less apprehensive, it's almost more than I can handle. Your teacup. Yuri's hands me my tea. Holding with my hand that's not holding the book, I end up in a position that makes it even harder to focus. Because now I need to worry about making sure I don't accidentally touch her chest. Meanwhile, Yuri hasn't noticed a single thing. She wears her intense reading expression, and I can only presume the world around her has faded away. I use all of my willpower to focus on reading. After a few minutes, I finally manage to relax a little. I put the teacup between my legs and fumble with the chocolate wrapper. Sorry, I briefly let go of the book to finish opening the wrapper. You can have as much as you want. That's okay. I won't take any. Are you sure? Well, if I touch it, then it might get smudged on the pages. You're right. I didn't even think about that. My bad. No need to apologize. I'll hold the book, okay? Are you sure? Of course. Yuri opens the book with both hands. She holds it so that I don't have any harder of a time reading from it. But as a result, her left arm is practically resting on top of my leg. Well, in that case, Yuri's already totally focused on reading again. I take a chocolate candy and pop it into my mouth. Then I take another chocolate, and I hold it up to Yuri. She doesn't even look away from the book. She simply parts her lips as if the situation was completely natural. But that means I can't stop here. I apparently place the chocolate in her mouth. Just like that, Yuri closes her lips over it. Eh? Yuri's expression suddenly breaks. Did I just... Yuri looks at me when she needs to confirm what just happened. Maestro? Sorry. I guess I shouldn't have done that. Well, you were just helping. That's something that friends do, right? I mean, not really in this kind of context, but yeah. That's all it was. Yeah, then you don't need to stop or anything. I see. The situation has gotten really tense. Yuri tries to return to the book, but I can tell just by her expression that even she can't focus now. My heart is pounding. I nervously take another chocolate between my fingers, but this time Yuri's eyes meet mine. How did it even come to this? Yuri doesn't avert her gaze. I notice her chest rising and falling in the rhythm of her breaths. Not that in depth there. Her chest isn't breathing. I raise my arm. Like before, Yuri parts her lips, but it's different this time. I take the chocolate and place it in her mouth. Feel her hot breath on my fingers. Okay, everyone. Yuri jolts back. It's time to share poems. Maestro, you can help Yuri put the tea stuff away, right? Yeah, of course. Okay, thanks. The spell is abruptly broken. I'll take care of the cups. Yeah. Yuri picks up the teacups from the floor, with the bag of chocolates. In the end, we hastily clean up without so much as a word between us. I get the feeling this is something neither of us will have the courage to bring up. Same order. Ooh, I like this one, Maestro. It has some nice feelings in it. I'm glad. Does that mean it's better than yesterday's? Let me think. I don't know. I guess I like them both. It's not very helpful, you know. Well, I'm not very good at figuring out if poems are good or bad, but that's why I just go by my heart. If it makes sense, if it makes me feel things, then it must be a good poem. I'm not sure that's exactly how it works. Then again, I guess conveying feelings is a pretty important part of this whole thing. Yeah, maybe. Honestly, I don't even know what kind of writing you like in the first place. Yeah, me neither. Why don't you at least try giving it some thoughts? You want to write something for me? That's so sweet. Yeah, right. But you're always thinking about other people. You need to think about yourself once in a while. If you don't, you might end up getting hurt at some point. Well, I don't really know what you mean, but I'll try to keep it in mind. Well, whatever. Anyway, let's see. I guess I like happy poems. Wait, sometimes I like sad poems too. Sometimes a little bit of both. There's a word for that, right? What's the word I'm looking for? Bittersweet. Yeah. I like things that are happy and things that are sad. Happy and sad. I can't see you liking something sad, Sayori. I'm gonna just say Sayori, I guess. Sayori sounds weird. Some say Sayori, I guess. Well, I like the happy the most, but sometimes when I have a little rain cloud in your head, a sad poem can help give the rain cloud a little hug, and it makes a nice happy rainbow. Sayori, that's unexpectedly poetic. Is it? Maybe I'm getting better at expressing my feelings after all. Thanks, Maestro. I should go write that down then. You read my poem now. Bottles. I pop off my scalp like a lid of a cookie jar. It's a secret place where I keep all my dreams, little balls of sunshine all rubbing together like a bundle of kittens. I reach inside with my thumb and forefinger and pluck one out. It's warm and tingly. But there's no time to waste. I put it in a bottle to keep it safe, and I put the bottle on the shelf with all of the other bottles. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts, and bottles all in a row. My collection makes me lots of friends, each bottle a starlight to make amends. Sometimes my friends feel a certain way, down comes the bottle to save the day. Night after night, more dreams, friend after friend, more bottles, deeper and deeper my fingers go, like exploring a dark cave, discovering secrets hiding in the nooks and crannies. Digging and digging, scraping and scraping, I blow dust off my bottle caps, it doesn't feel like time elapsed. My empty shelf could use some more. My friends look through my locked front door. Finally all done, I open up, and in come my friends. In they come in such a hurry. Do they want my bottles that much? I frankly pull them from the shelf, one after the other, holding them out to each other, ever a friend, each and every bottle. But every time I let one go, it shatters again. The tile between my feet. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts, and shards all over the floor. They were supposed to be for my friends who aren't smiling. They're all shouting, pleading something, but all I hear is echo, 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 echo inside my head. Holy crap. Sayori, did you really write this? Of course I did. Didn't I tell you yesterday I was going to write the best poem ever? Yeah, but I mean, I didn't expect something like this coming from you. Monika taught me a whole lot, and I've been really in touch with my feelings recently. I see that. It's almost kind of creepy. Creepy? Well, not exactly. But because I'm so used to you being cheerful. Well, never mind. I'm thinking too hard about it. Jeez. Did you just hear that? Point is, it came out good, so you should be proud of it. Well, thanks. I feel like I was meant to express myself this way. It even helps me understand my own feelings a little bit better. Writing is like magic. You've gotten pretty passionate about this, huh? I hope you keep it up. Yeah, writing is the best. I'm gonna keep writing until I die. Don't get ahead of yourself. Sorry, always had a habit of getting obsessed with something before dropping it no more than a week later. I wonder if this is one of those times. Seeing the passion in your eyes makes it hard for me to be pessimistic. Well, I can't admit it's better than the last one. It's nice to see that you're putting in some effort. That's good. Come to think of it, this kind of reminds me of Sayori's poem from yesterday. Yeah, you think so? Yeah, well I guess if you've been friends with her for so long, you might be on the same wavelength. But you never really struck me as her type. Sayori has a type all of a sudden? Well, I don't know, but honestly, how can someone so fluffy spend so much time with someone like you? It's like she dragged around a dead weight. That was a little unnecessary. But think of it this way, if it weren't for me, she would probably just fly away like letting go of a balloon. You could say we each take care of each other in our own way. Whatever it is, I don't get it. Oh yeah, I guess I'm supposed to show you my poem here. Amy likes spiders. You know what I hear about Amy? Amy likes spiders. Icky, wriggly, hairy, ugly spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a cute singing voice. I hear her singing my favorite love song. Every time she sang the chorus, my heart would pound to the rhyme of the words, but she likes spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. One time, I hurt my leg really bad. Amy helped me up and took me to the nurse. I tried not to let her touch me. She likes spiders, so her hands are probably gross. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a lot of friends. I always see her talking to people. She probably talks about spiders. What if her friends start to like spiders too? That's why I'm not friends with her. It doesn't matter if she has other hobbies. It doesn't matter if she keeps it private. It doesn't matter if it doesn't hurt anyone. It's gross. She's gross. The world is better off without spider lovers. And I'm gonna tell everyone. Not bad, right? It's quite a bit longer than yesterday's. Yesterday's was way too short. I was just warming up. I hope you didn't think it was the best I could do. No, of course not. Anyway, the message is pretty straightforward in this poem. I doubt I have to explain it. Sometimes you can explain complicated issues with much simpler analogs? I think that's what it said? Analogies, there you go. And it helps people realize how stupid they're being. Like anyone would agree that the subject of this poem is an ignorant jerk. You know people like that? Of course, it's about how everyone thinks That doesn't matter. It can be about anything. I wrote it to be easy to relate to. Everyone has some kind of weird hobby or a guilty pleasure. Something that you're afraid if people find out, they'll make fun of you or think less of you. But that just makes people stupid. Who cares what someone likes as long as they're not hurting anyone and it makes them happy? I think people really need to learn to respect others for liking weird things. Well, you're definitely right. At least I can relate to that. I'm sure a lot of other people can too. It's what I do best, after all. I don't like writing unless there's a good message to take away from it. Like, convey emotions is important. But I want to make people think, not just feel. Remember that. I'm gonna write a good one for tomorrow too, so look forward to it. Hoping that tomorrow we get into some horror aspect stuff and we don't do this again. That's what I hope. It's a good game, but I want to get to the horror stuff. I don't want to spend 2 hours on this stuff and only have like 30 minutes of horror. I don't even know how long this game is. Let's see what you've written for today. Yuri stares at the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it? To Maestro. This one might be even better than yesterday's. How did you even pick up on this so quickly? Just yesterday I was telling you the kind of techniques worth practicing. Maybe that's why. You did a good job explaining. I really wanted to try giving it more imagery. Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty. I'm not used to this. Used to what? I don't know. It's fine. Take your time. Yuri breathes and collects her thoughts. I know that Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offer that patience to her. Yeah, just being appreciated like this, I guess. It probably sounds really stupid, but seeing someone motivated by my writing just makes me really happy. Are you saying you've never shared your writing before? Yuri nods. Really? I don't believe it. I really only write for myself, and besides, people would just laugh at me. Do you really think that? Again, Yuri nods. Huh. Even your close friends? Yuri doesn't respond to that. I wonder why. Anyway, do you want to share your poem you wrote today? Yeah, I do. If it's with you. Oh. The Raccoon. It happened in the dead of the night while I was slicing bread for a quietly snack. My attention was caught by the scuffering of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tenacious as an unordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread. My subconscious, well aware of the consequences, well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom. The bread, my hungry curiosity, the raccoon, an urge. The moon increments his phase and reflects that much more light off of my cutting knife. The very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread, fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited. Jeez. Or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to follow me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I banish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement. A rush of blood, classic Pavlovian conditioning. I slice the bread, and I feed myself again. I was a little more jarring with this one than yesterday. I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. I don't know if it's my fault, but I can begin to imagine what this poem is about. That's right. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style, using the poem as a canvas to explain vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. Yeah, if I take it at face value, then I can't even figure out what it is supposed to mean. Well, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I wanted to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. It's those sort of things I'm usually forced to keep to myself, so I sometimes enjoy writing about them. Huh, that's funny. Did Natsuki also write something about that? About someone being ridiculed for strange interests? She did? Yeah. He was talking about how it doesn't matter what you're into as long as you're not hurting anybody. She's right. I mean, does she really feel that way? Yeah. Sounds like you two have that in common. That's interesting. To me, she seemed like the kind of person who would make fun of my hobbies, but I suppose that's my fault for judging, isn't it? Please don't tell her I said that. Don't worry. I have no reason to. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing it with me. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself. I might be rambling a little bit but I'm glad that you're a good listener. You're good at a lot of things. Writing, listening. There really aren't many people like you do, Maestro. That's exaggerating a little bit. It's just how I feel. I never thought I would feel so comfortable sharing my writing, but now I almost feel like I look forward to it. It's just a really nice feeling. And you're to thank for it. It's nothing really. Yuri smiles sincerely at me. For a moment, her timidness seems to disappear. That's nice. Monika. Hi again, Maestro, I realized I cut myself off. How's the writing going? Alright, I guess. I'll take that. As long as it's not going bad. I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. Wouldn't count on it. You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today? Sure, here you go. I give my poem to Monika. Alright. This one's good. Feels like you're not only getting more comfortable with your style, but the imagery is better than the last one I read. Just wondering, but have you been finding inspiration in Yuri's writing style? I guess so. You can't deny that she's talented. Yeah, totally. I think her poems are the most romantic. That's the best way to describe it. She's like a totally different person when she picks up a pen. I noticed that too. Or when she's talking about literature, it's like a light turns on inside her. Sadly, it's hard to get much personal conversation out of her. Trust me, I've tried. Who knows what's going on in that head of hers? I hope you don't mean that in a bad way. No, of course not. I just meant that I wish she didn't keep so much to herself. But still, defending her like that? You must be pretty into her. You completely misunderstood. Calm down, I'm kidding. Besides, I'm pretty sure she's already got a boyfriend. Wait, really? Yeah, a fictional one anyway. Monika kind of whispers that last part to me. It's just a hunch, but... Well, there's not really anything wrong with that. Oh, well, I know. I was just saying. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Alright, let's take a look. Save me. The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors. Flashing, expanding, piercing. Red, green, blue. An endless canopy... Canophony of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, grating, waveforms, squeaking, stretching, piercing, sine, cosine, tangent, like playing a chalkboard on a turntable, like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust, an endless poem of meaningless. Load me. It's even more abstract than your last one, huh? I guess it's just the way I write. Sorry if you don't like it. No, I never said that. It's just the kind of thing I've never really seen before, I guess. It's kind of like playing with my space on the paper. Choosing where and how to space your words can totally change the mood of the poem. It's very true. It's almost like magic. The way I wrote the lines really short makes it feel like they're trying to speak over the noise. I see. It's still hard for me to tell what it's about, though. Sometimes asking what a poem is about isn't the right question. A poem can be an abstract as a physical expression of a feeling or a conversation with the reader. So putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Anyway, here's Monika's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. You never know when you might change your mind, or when something unexpected may happen. Wait, is this tip even about writing? What have I even talking about? That's my advice for the day. Thanks for listening. Gonna save. That was weird. Are we getting somewhere? Okay, everyone. Well, we're done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra planned today, so if everyone could come sit at the front of the room. This is about the festival? Well, sort of. Do we really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting new members. That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do us last minute preparations. Don't worry so much. We're going to keep it simple, okay? We won't need much more than a few decorations. Sayori has been working on posters, and I've designed some pamphlets so we can give out during the event. Okay, that's great and all, but that doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event. Sorry, I thought you heard about it already. We're going to be performing. Performing? Monika? Yeah? We're going to have a poetry performance. Each of us are going to choose a poem to recite during the event. The cool part is we're also going to let anyone else come up and recite poems too. Sayori's putting it on all the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Eee! That was a really weird sound I made. Sayori, who's been coloring a poster, holds it up for us to see. Are you kidding me, Monika? You didn't ready to start putting those posters up, did you? Well, I did. Do you really think it's that bad of an idea? Well, no, it's not a bad idea, but I didn't sign up for this, you know. There's no way I'm going to perform in front of a group of people like that. I agree with Natsuki. I could never in my life do something like that. Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys, no, Sayori. I understand where they're coming from. Remember that Natsuki and Yuri have never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple days ago. It's a lot to ask for them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room full of people. I guess I kind of overlooked that, so I'm sorry. But I still think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and each put on a good performance, then it will inspire others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better we're able to show everyone what a literature club is all about. Yeah! It's about expressing your feelings, being intimate with yourself, finding new horizons, and having fun. That's right. And it's those reasons that we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with others? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? I know I do. I know we all do. If all it takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Sayori looks worried. I guess that leaves me no choice. I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that Sayori and Monika have been trying really hard to get new members, and the least we can do is help them out a little bit. Well, maybe, but looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to get it over with. Alright. Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glances around everyone else, expecting faces. I guess I don't really have a choice. Aha! That's everyone! You're the best, Yuri. This club is seriously going to be the death of me. Oh gosh, you'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I need you to choose a poem of yours. We're going to practice reciting them in front of each other. No way, Monika. This is too sudden. Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of the strangers? In front of these strangers, in front of strangers. Oh no, don't worry. I'll start off to help everyone feel more comfortable. Can I go next? Ah, of course. Now let's see. Monika flips through her notebook to the specific poem she has in mind for her. She then stands up on the podium. The title of the poem is The Way They Fly. Monika begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. Is this something she's done before, or is it simply a natural? I glance around me. Everyone has their eyes on Monika. Sayori looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face they don't understand. Finally, Monika finishes the recitation. The four of us applaud. Monika takes a breath and smiles. That was so good, Monika. Thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sayori? I'll go next. Yuri's fired up all of a sudden. Yuri clutches a sheet of paper between her hands and stands up. Keeping her head down, she walks quickly over to the podium. The poem is called We Will Find Out Next Time. Because that is the end of this video. Sorry, I know a weird spot to end it at. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.